Okay, so what if I told you there are rooms right now in government hospitals packed with millions of dollars of high-tech medical equipment that have never healed a single person? It sounds crazy, but today we are opening the door on Meghalaya's medical equipment graveyards. This is where your money goes to die. And no, that's not a metaphor. That is a direct quote describing a state-of-the-art MRI machine. We're talking about a machine that costs over 300,000 US dollars. But once the ribbon was cut and the photos were taken, it was basically left to become an unbelievably expensive piece of junk. This one sentence, it really captures the entire tragedy we're about to unpack. I mean, that's the real question, isn't it? How does this even happen? This isn't just about a machine breaking down. This is about a system that seems, well, almost perfectly designed to fail. And in this explainer, we're going to follow the trail of evidence and show you exactly how it works. So let's start with that one machine, the multi-CRORE paperweight, because its story, it's the perfect example of a much, much bigger problem. If we can understand its journey from new and shiny to useless and forgotten, we can understand how hundreds of other machines end up in the exact same graveyard. Just look at how fast this all falls apart. In month 1, it's a huge deal, a symbol of progress. Then just 2 months later, a minor fault. No big deal, right? Well, wrong. By month 6, someone realizes there's no service contract. Nobody was ever hired to fix it, so for 4 years, it has just sat there, a ghost machine in a locked room, while actual patients have to travel hundreds of kilometers for a scan they should be getting right here. You see, this isn't just bad luck or a one-off mistake. It's a predictable process. It's a systematic pipeline that turns a valuable asset into scrap metal. The investigation that uncovered all this calls it the graveyard pipeline, and we're about to look at the blueprint. And here they are, the 5 critical stages where everything goes wrong. Think of this as our roadmap for the rest of this journey. We're going to walk through each one, and you'll see how they all lock together to create this perfectly broken system. All right, let's get into it. Let's really dissect these 5 fatal flaws and see the anatomy of how this neglect is literally built into the system from day 1. So it all starts with the purchase. Right from the get-go, costs are inflated, sometimes up to 300%. Tenders are written in a way that only specific, often shady suppliers can win, and a lot of the time what shows up isn't even new. It's old or refurbished equipment. And why? Well, it's all about the kickbacks, which can be as high as 40% of the contract. The machine is basically doomed before it's even been unboxed. So even if a perfectly good machine somehow makes it through stage 1, it arrives at a hospital that can't even support it. It's like buying a Formula 1 car and trying to drive it on a bumpy dirt road. It just doesn't work. These are sensitive machines. They get damaged by power surges or dust because the most basic infrastructure isn't there. It's sabotage by total neglect. This one is just mind-boggling. A hospital gets a multi-core diagnostic machine, and then no one gets trained on how to use it. Or maybe they'll get a quick 2-day session, which is nowhere near enough. So what happens? This expensive, life-saving piece of tech just sits there, an intimidating box that the staff are actually afraid to touch, let alone use on a patient. And here it is, the killing blow. An annual maintenance contract, or AMC, is the absolute lifeline for any complex piece of equipment. It's the guarantee that someone will show up and fix it when it breaks. But in this system, these contracts often are never even signed. So that first inevitable breakdown isn't just a temporary problem, it's a death sentence. That's why they call it maintenance murder. And finally, here's the reason this whole corrupt pipeline never stops. There are 0 consequences. No one gets fired. No one is prosecuted. In fact, the officials who oversaw the whole mess often get promotions. The money's gone, the machine's broken, and everybody just waits for the next budget to come around so they can do it all over again. Okay, so we've seen how it happens. But the why this matters part, that's so much more important. This isn't just some accounting error or a bit of bureaucratic messiness. This systemic failure has a real and devastating human cost. Just let that number sink in. 200 crore rupees. That's over 24 million US dollars, and that's the conservative estimate for the value of broken, useless medical equipment just lying around in this one state alone. But what does a number like that actually mean in terms of lost healthcare? Well, on one side, you have a graveyard of machines. On the other side, that same money could have paid for 10,000 essential surgeries, 4,000 safe baby deliveries, and 40,000 diagnostic tests. A choice was made, and the people lost. And you know who pays the ultimate price? Ordinary people. People whose cancer isn't caught in time. Families who have to travel for days, spending money they don't have, just to get a simple x-ray. People who are forced into debt to pay a private hospital for a service their own government already bought for them, but just let rust. So what on earth can be done about this? The investigation is pretty clear. A system this broken is not going to fix itself. But that doesn't mean it's hopeless. Knowledge is power, and there are actually concrete things that citizens can do to fight back and start demanding some real accountability. And here it is. This is your toolkit. And this isn't just for journalists or activists, it's for everyone. You can go to your local hospital and ask to see the equipment register. You can file right-to-information requests to get the actual data on what was bought and if it's being maintained. You can form community watchdog groups. And most importantly, you can make this an issue that politicians absolutely cannot ignore. Let's just end on this one thought, because it really cuts to the heart of everything we've talked about. Every single broken machine isn't just a waste of money. It's a life that could have been saved. It's a diagnosis that could have been made. This isn't abstract, bureaucratic corruption. It kills people.